Hey, I'm Steve with Western Piedmont Community College. I'm an electrical instructor here. I want to show you what you're going to be provided with when you step up to the electrical wiring task, table, whatever you want to call that. When you step up to that event, that's the right word. When you step up to the event, this is what you're going to get. You're going to be given a receptacle cover. It will still be in the package. You'll have to open it. Be given a brand new receptacle, never been installed, so everybody gets exactly the same receptacle. Be a pair of wire strippers. Now these wire strippers are not just conductor strippers, they're for also stripping the jacket on the cable, which I'll explain in a moment. You'll be given these 3 screwdrivers: a smaller screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, and then a broader blade screwdriver. I'll explain that to you in a minute. When you walk up to the table, I will already hopefully have this part done. When you walk up to the station, the electrical wiring station, this is what you'll find. I will have, or whoever is doing the event with me, will have the wire already installed. This is 12 gauge copper Romex wire. Proper name is non-metallic sheath cable, but everybody likes to call it Romex. Now I want to do a caveat here, just so you'll understand. When we strip this wire, when we're doing this in the field, we want to reach up in the box and strip it back here. So typically there's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of insulation left in the box. That's so you have the freedom to move the individual conductors around once you've got this stripped. However, due to safety and all that kind of stuff, for this event, we're not going to use a skinning knife or a razor knife like most electricians would use in the field. We're going to use this wonderful Romex stripper here. So what you will do, when you step up to the table and we say go, there will be a 5-minute time limit on the event. Trust me, just take your time, think about what you're doing, and as I go through this, I'm going to show you or tell you how we're going to score it. Obviously, this won't work too well. So here's what we want you to do. We want you to take this Romex. You must have a minimum of 6 inches of free cable outside this box when you connect this receptacle. That is the National Electrical Code requirement. I'll make sure you have more cable than that available, okay? What I want you to do, for safety, and because it's just impossible, just skim the wire. You'll see there's 12-2, 10-2. You want to use the 12-2 stripper. Grab it here, crunch it down, turn it a little bit, and then just pull it. And you can pull the jacket right off. Let it hit the floor, don't worry about it. Then what I want you to do is I want you to remove this paper. You can tear it, you can cut it, doesn't matter. Get to this point. When you've gotten to this point, I, or whoever's doing this, will just kind of step over here real quickly. We will pull this back up and readjust it. That way, you're dealing with the box like it would be in the field, and you have the freedom to move these conductors around. If we left it the other way, then it would be much more difficult for you. So you see, you've got about 6 inches of free conductor here. That will be one of the score points. We do want to see this minimum amount of conductor. And actually, I've actually cut it just a tad short, but you know, this is demo. I will make certain that you have plenty of wire here. So you need 6 inches of conductor. From this point, what I want you to do, we're going to install this receptacle. We're going to score this on several things. We're going to score it on polarity. Polarity meaning the right wire, the correct color conductor, to the correct terminal on this receptacle. The green screw is called the grounding screw. It actually connects to these holes here, and it's for the purpose of grounding this device. That will be the bare conductor. If you'll notice on each side, you have brass screws and you have silver screws. The silver screw is the neutral conductor, and it will correspond to the white. Silver and white. And that leaves black for brass. That is the ungrounded or the hot conductor. It connects to the brass side. Now, some of these receptacles, well, all of them, they'll all be the same. They'll have these little quick connect holes. We do not use those. These are only going to accept 14 gauge wire anyway, and even if they did, we wouldn't use them. We want to make a proper skin connection with this receptacle. So what we're gonna do from this point, I just took the time to show you that. You're gonna take, again, this stripper. 12 AWG is what you want on the stripper hole. You want to go to about a good inch, something like that, and you just clamp it down, twist it gently towards you, and pull it off. After you do that, take the hole on the stripper and watch the orientation of my hand. Now, I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll have to figure this out. Slip it up over the conductor about so far and just gently twist it, and that makes a nice hook. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing over here on the black wire. If you angle it slightly away, clamp it, twist it gently towards you, then loosen your grip ever so slightly and pull it, and it'll come right off. Again, we'll make us a nice hook on this wire. We also want to come up here and make us a nice hook on our ground wire. So if we see we have these hooks all been on our wire, this is to go around our screws. Now, this is another point of scoring. These screws turn clockwise to the right to tighten. We always want to put our conductor under the screw in the direction so that when they tighten, they are pulling against the short end. So put it in where it's going to the clockwise. Take these and just clamp it around very gently. Now you can do this, you can either do these one at a time and tighten them as you go, or you can put all three on. And remember to push this down around it a little bit. See how that looks? Okay, and flip it over, and you'll do the exact same thing on the brass screw. Now, for the purpose of this event, it doesn't matter which brass screw or which silver screw you use, because if you'll notice, there's a tab here, and that makes these screws common to one another, so if you use either, it will work. So once you've got these wires on, notice we have no insulation under our screw. That'll cost you a little bit of a deduction if you have insulation under the screw. If you put these on backwards so that when you tighten it, it will loosen your wire, there'll be a deduction for that also, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, I prefer the flat-bladed screwdriver for these because that's just how I learned to do it. You can use any one of these tools, and then you take and turn these screws, keep a little tension on it, turn it good and snug so that it tightens. If you notice how it tightened in that direction. This screw here, you don't have to tighten it, just run it down. That's good industry practice. We don't leave those screws sticking out. Again, on the neutral side, just tighten that screw down. You don't have to tighten it, just get it down out of the way. Then this one, again, turn it good and snug. The grounding screw, turn it so it's good and snug. Okay, that's that. So you have installed the receptacle, your polarity is correct, you've got your hooks in the right direction, the bends in the right direction, so that when you tighten the screw, it actually closes the loop and not opens the loop. Now you're ready to put this in. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with something called an electrical short, and we don't have time for a theory lesson here, but we can never allow this ungrounded hot conductor to make contact with either of these conductors. And as you see, the ground conductor has no insulation on it. So when you fold these up and tuck them into the box, you can't let that get against this. If you do, it'll be a deduction in your points. For the purpose of this exercise and to keep everything uniform, we want the ground prong, or the ground hole on the receptacle turned upwards this way. There's no code requiring you to turn them one way or the other. For the purpose of this exercise, we want to do that. So we're all hooked up. If you'll take and push your finger here and push those wires back as you bend them, then bend them this way. And I don't care if you hold this because it's a little wobbly, and you need to just work that receptacle in as such. If you notice, our wires are bent. We don't have any contact between this and this. So now we're ready to put this in. You can start either screw first, it doesn't matter. Start that one, get it good and snug, Then this one, same thing, get it started, get it good and snug. And you want to run these down until they are pressing, and we see we've got a little damage here. We may have to repair that. But if you'll look at the ears on this receptacle, those ears need to press flush against that sheetrock. When you start getting pressure there, and this one, like I said, it's a little damaged. We may have to repair that. But when you get pressure here, you stop. This is good and snug. At that point, you've made the install. Now you got to finish the job. Just open up your cover. We'll provide some kind of we'll do something about the trash. Don't worry about that. That has a captive screw. You can just see the hole where it goes right here. You can just put that screw right over the hole. Use the small blade screwdriver and start it in. And you can turn it. And the final little thing we're going to judge is we want it left just like that. So when you're done, you want your receptacle. It's straight. The cover screw is vertical. That just gives it a nice look, a finished look with all the other vertical lines. And that's when we'll call time. When you say I'm done, we'll call time. We will have been evaluating this as you do it. So we're not going to open it back up and look at everything. We will evaluate this as you're installing it. We won't talk to you. We won't correct you. So we want you to, that's the reason we made this video. We want you guys to look at how we did this. This is how we're going to score it, so you know exactly what we're going to be looking for, okay? We're looking forward to seeing each and every one of you in a few weeks, and thank you for your time.
You may begin.
Start by dropping your tool. I didn't mention it, but we do want this to sit flat against there. We don't want it cockeyed, so you'll need to turn it if it's crooked. All right, and we're done.
2 minutes, 44 seconds.
Hey, bad for an old man.
That's right. Good job.